So this second video, we're going to look at the actual binomial theorem and what it means for doing these expansions. So I left the previous example kind of up a little bit so you can see that we're just continuing. The binomial theorem says to get those coefficients that were in green, we're using combinations instead of Pascal's triangle. So we don't need to create all of Pascal's triangle to get these numbers. So you're going to start with NCN. So if it's 5, we're going to do 5C5, then 5C4, then all the way down to 5C0, and then the exponents will follow. You can do the exponents either way. I like to match up the first exponent with the number down here. Now, if you think back to Pascal's triangle, it's symmetrical. So I'm just going to scroll this back real quick. There's a 4 here and a 4 here, and a 6 and a 6, and 15 and 15. So it doesn't really matter if you have NCN or NC0 here and which direction you go with that. And same thing with the exponents matching. You do want them to go in descending order, so I would just go with it that way. I'm going to go right into a more challenging example with some subtraction in it. You may need an extra row for this one. So this is really our second example. I'll just call it the first example for binomial theorem. 3x minus 2y to the 6th. So instead of looking at the 6th row, which I know you have up above, we're going to do 6c6. Now, this is a spot where I probably in the future would save time. 6c6 and 6c0 are both 1. So you really don't need to write the first one. You can almost envision Pascal's triangle and see the ones on either end. And then we would do 3x to the 6th. Negative 2y, that's important, this negative sign here, to the 0. Now the first one's to the 0, so it doesn't really matter. And then even the second one, you don't really need to show this down the line. It's 6c, we're going to go down by 1, 5. This is going to be whatever number starts out here. So 6c6 and then 6c, the next number, you're going to go with 1, and then whatever n is in this case. So you can save some space later on with that as well. Just making sure you know what exponents that you're using if you don't write that out. So it's going to take a little bit more writing, and that's why these videos are going to end up being a little longer, just because the writing of this is so tedious. Then I'm going to slow it down a little bit also on the calculations. Whoops, when we get to those. So that has to be 4 and 2 to add up to 6. I think I can squeeze in one more term on this line. Now, so these middle ones, what you might want to do is put in your calculator what 6c4 and 6c3 are before you do your full out calculations, almost as if you had Pascal's triangle in front of you. But there is the option for typing it in all in one shot as well. Then any of the odd exponents, you have to be careful because the negative sign will end up showing up as part of your answer. Now I'm back at the end. I'm at 6c1 here. We again know that that's going to be 6. So you could replace that with 6 initially, whoops, and not actually write it out. And same thing with the last one, 6c0 is just a 1. And in fact, the first and the last term, you really only need a different color here. No, it's okay. You really only need this part and this part because the other stuff is just equal to 1. So that would save me a significant amount of space horizontally. So I'm just going to put the first one, 3x to the 6th. So 3 to the 6th is 729. X to the 6th. And then even on the next one, I know this is going to be 6, so I would type in 6 times 3 to the 5th times -2. That's going to come out to be subtraction. So this should alternate adding, subtracting. And if you notice that it's going to alternate, maybe you don't put the negative signs in and you just do the calculations without and make sure you go plus minus, plus minus. Now for the next one, I'm going to type in 6c4 times 3 to the 4th times -2 squared. Whoops, not on. So in this scenario, I'm doing the entire calculation all in one shot. Where am I at here? 3 to the 4th. And then -2 squared. Now remember at this point, you don't have to put the negative in, but if you want to see those alternating signs, you would definitely want to do that. So 4, 8, 0, x to the 4th y squared. And then the next one will be subtraction. So you can type in this whole thing again, and it'll be minus 4, 3, 2, 0, x cubed, y cubed. Now normally I wouldn't run out of space, but I definitely did here. Plus, and the next one's going to be 2160 x squared y to the 4th. Minus 576 xy to the 5th plus 64y to the 6th. Now when you're writing on a piece of paper, try to make your goal to fit it all on one line. If it's not possible, it is okay if it doesn't, because some of these can end up being long. Now you don't have to use the binomial theorem to do a full out expansion. Another option would be to find a specific term. So if I say find the 8th term of the expansion of 2x minus y to the 12th, here's what I like to think about with the exponents and kind of work my way backwards. It doesn't always work nicely with the subtraction, especially because we have that 0th term. So if I start with 12, that's my first, 11, 10, this is like my first exponent, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 8th term's first exponent, basically. So if I kind of work backwards from there, I can say, okay, it's 2x to the 5th, because I figured out what term that is. So you just kind of want to count down to figure that out, or you could subtract and then add 1. That will work as well. I want my exponents to add up to 12, so 5 plus 7. Is the 12 there. And then I want my number in front to be 12c. Now I can actually pick either 5 or 7 because since everything is symmetrical, either one of those would give me my answer. And now I can plug that directly into my calculator. And I can do 12 C5 and then times 2 to the 5th. Now this is just -1 to the 7th. I mean, I'm typing it in. It's not really necessary. But if it were a negative other number, you definitely would want to plug that in there. So this can give us a specific term without doing an entire expansion. And also without having to write out the 12th row of Pascal's triangle. So we can do terms of higher exponents like a 12. You would never have to do a full expansion of something to the 12th, but finding a term in that sequence or in that expansion is definitely possible with this method. All right, so you have some practice that you're going to want to work on with this after, and also potentially some online questions to answer with these as well.